Hi everyone, welcome. Today we're going to talk about designing your divine path for people who've had back problems, people who feel stuck. Um, this is what we really need to just discuss and work on so that you can feel this liberation. Um, so sometimes you say, well, I've healed a lot and right now I just need to settle into this healing. And yes, that makes sense. But if you're sitting in that space for a while, reality is you're feeling stuck. And if you're not feeling like this great power to walk forward, to step forward, and you're feeling lots of blocks or something's holding you back, you've got something, that's a lot of the ancestral stuff as well. Okay. It's not all you, but even so, with the ancestor stuff, once we find it, we can release it. We still have to create, we still have to design so that it benefits them too. So releasing is one part, but creating is another part. So the other thing that is beneficial about what we're going to do today is if you have, this feeling that your voice is not heard and people don't respect you, and then people are not listening to you, your kids maybe are not valuing what you have to say. This here will help you with that too. Okay. Because it really teaches you to answer only to one God. All right. So first of all, ladies, if you have a notepad, a notebook, you're going to start taking down notes and ideas, and I'll give you a worksheet to do later on. I'll give you a PDF, and it's kind of a booklet form. It's got 7 pages. So we'll do this together now, and then you can take your time and do it better later. Um, we want to be able to answer to just one God. Okay, if you're a people pleaser, you're, trying to help everyone be happy around you and not be offended, not be hurt. So sometimes we self sacrifice our happiness and, be pleasing at our own expense. So instead, we're going to do a win-win situation. We're going to have more clarity for what we want, more anchoring with the Lord's backing. And sorry, yeah, it is recording. Yeah, so um, yeah, with the Lord's backing, and so we are able to move forward with confidence. And when you have kids that have insecurity, they need at least one parent that is anchored. So eventually, after they, figure stuff out a little bit, they still want to come back to the example that you've set of being firm and anchored. So, be that parent that is strong and that they can lean on until they can have their own strength and confidence. Okay. So, the first activity that I would like you to do as part of our, just decluttering our life is to use your God-given intelligence and power to just design. Okay, so I'm going to share this worksheet with you. Here we are on the screen. Share. Okay. It's got 7 pages, but we'll start with this first. Okay. So just think about, we're going to make it very simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Just in your notebook, just say, what do I want? So ultimately, what do you want? Okay. So sometimes we say, oh, I want to pay off our car, pay off the house. Okay. More than that, ultimately, what do you want? We want to be joyful. We want to reach our highest potential as a child of God. Right. So for most of us, we can say we want to go to the celestial kingdom and live our best life. Yeah. So as a member of this church, my husband and I, we had a mission plan, a mission statement together. And that was one of the things we talked about when we first got married, is we want salvation and exaltation for us and our children. We want to be happy. So when you have that, it seems simple, but it keeps you focused, because sometimes people want to preserve this youth, and they want to keep this body nice. And then we have so many things that make us sad, so many conditions that we say, oh, I want this, but I don't want to go through all that effort, or that might be uncomfortable, that might be hard, but if we have this as a focus, then a lot of times it helps you have more courage, and it inspires you, and it helps you overcome a lot of things, and it really will help you answer to only one master. So if God says, yes, this is the path, God says, I need to do this, then yeah, okay. And if everyone else disagrees, that's okay. And I can practice, sharing my opinions in a kind and loving way without worrying about people being offended. Okay, guys? So, you can write down, what do I really, really want? Okay? Because that's the ultimate, really. Okay? So, how do I get there? You can talk to the Lord about this, but most of the time, it's where your pains were. It's the pains that you need to turn into passions. Okay? If you like working with youth or women, or, in a certain way, or animals, you want to put it there. You want to say, okay, I want to serve and practice heaven, but in this very specific way, because everybody, I believe, have a personal plan of salvation, okay, of their own, within the grand plan of salvation. Right? And we just need to check in with the Lord and do that. A lot of times we are not backing ourselves up towards creating this plan. I mean, not creating, but towards manifesting this plan, and realizing this plan. And that's why we hurt. We're not backing ourselves up. We're not letting heaven back us up. Right? We're not saying, you know what, I deserve this. And yes, my life is a little bit messy now, but I'm not going to make any more excuses. Right? Yes, my house is, this area is not fixed, or that is not done, and things are kind of crazy, and my child and this other kid and my husband. Yes, all of these excuses and reasons, but I'm not going to wait till those things are fixed and happy and pretty for me to be able to serve my mission, my calling on earth. Okay. Right. So when you back yourself up like that, your back, I'm sure, will improve. Okay. And your structure, the whole body structure, as an extension. And then write, who do I serve? And this is a draft, and it doesn't have to be perfect, and you don't have to write it in, grammatical sentences or whatever. Just write, and then you can redo this later. So who do I serve? I feel like I need to serve women. I need to serve Christian women. I need to serve whatever. You put it down. Okay. Because then you narrow it. And then when you have naysayers, and you have people, that are your non-avatars, who cares? Who cares? They're not your avatars. So that's okay. Yeah. I sometimes I have young men follow me, and I'm like, well, they're not really my avatars. Okay, sure. But I'm not going to serve them. I'm going to try and serve these people. And if they're benefiting somewhere, somehow, great. But I'm going to stay focused. I'm not going to stretch and expand all of my things to fit them. Because I already checked in with the Lord. This is where I'm going. This is who I'm serving. This is what I'm doing. And then what do I want to do? So narrow it down again. What do I want to do? And then we're checking in with the Lord, right? So, we have his approval. It's not just you and your idea. You had to exercise your God-given intelligence and activate your agency that's your part. But then you can check in with the Lord and say, is this good? Tell me which one is not good, and I'll cross it out. Okay. So then you know, that you don't have to be everything for everyone. One girl tells me, I feel like everyone's telling me I have to do a website, and I have to this, and I have to this, and I have to this. And I said, well, check in with the Lord. Do you really? Oh, okay, no. I'm really good at one-on-ones, and I want to, help women this way. I'm like, good. And then, like my classes that I do, I charge $20 because I just want the right people, and the right people will be willing to pay that. And it's so nice to not worry about, I'm going to offend somebody that's not Christian here. And I'm just, whoa, this makes a huge difference. And I have people coming to every class. And even when my friend wanted to cancel, I'm like, already people have signed up, so I'm not going to be able to cancel. I'm just going to move the location. Yeah. Okay. So that's what I did. And last time we just had, a house full of people. Yeah. And people who are willing to listen. And, that's what we want. Okay. And so narrow it down. You don't have to be everything for everyone. Yeah. Okay. And down here, I will just put down a few of your creeds or your standards. Okay, so I want to share this document with you. This is I teach the youth in our church. We call it seminary, and I gave them this this information this week. So there's a prophet in our church, and his name is George Albert Smith. And when he was 34, he made this list of 11 creeds or ideals that he wants to live by. So it's sort of like making decisions. So you don't have to make the decision in the moment, and you're reducing activation energy. Okay. And you know who you are, you're anchored. Okay. So this is how we anchor, and then we can be unattached to others, and their opinions. Okay. So number one, he says, I would be a friend to the friendless and find joy in ministering to the needs of the poor. Okay, so he knows the kind of people that he wants to hang out with, people that are friendless and people that are needy. And poor, I don't know what he means by poor, he knows what he means. I would visit the sick and afflicted and inspire them to desire for faith to be healed. So for me, I would visit the women that have heartaches and pains and traumas in the past. Okay. So number three, I would teach the truth to the understanding and blessings of all mankind. And I like that. So for me, I'm like, I will post truth on social media. I will shine my light and, nudge out the darkness. I'm not afraid of this. When my kids had a teacher tell them, oh, social media is so bad. None of you guys should be on it, blah, blah, blah. It's going to hurt you this way and this way. My kids are like, huh? Right? They're like, oh, but we were taught different. My mom said that we could shine a light and, in the darkness for friends and people, and then I'm like, oh, okay, that's a different response. So yeah, you just anchor in what you want to do, right? Number four, I would seek out the erring one and try to win him back to a righteous and happy life. How cute is that? So, that lost sheep. I would not seek to force people to live up to my ideals, but rather love them into doing the right thing. That is the thing that's right. Okay. And that's sweet. He's saying he's unattached. Great. I would live with the masses, and help to solve their problems that their earth life may be happy. That's beautiful. I would avoid the publicity of high positions and discourage the flattery of thoughtless friends. Yep, be a great example. I would not knowingly wound the feelings of any, not even one who may have wronged me, but would seek to do him good and make him my friend. That's sweet. I would overcome the tendency to selfishness and jealousy and rejoice in the successes of all the children of my Heavenly Father. That is so outward thinking, beautiful. I would not be an enemy to any living soul. My husband said when he was younger, he decided, I'm not going to hate anyone, and I'm like, that's a good policy for yourself. That's really good. Knowing that the Redeemer of mankind has offered to the world the only plan that will fully develop us and make us really happy here and hereafter. I feel it not only a duty, but also a blessing, a blessed privilege to disseminate this truth. So spreading truth. Beautiful. What do you guys think about this? So I've had mums tell me, oh, my kids like hate that I'm always serving in the church, hate that I'm always doing this and that. But if we have something like this, you can say, well, this is part of my standard. This is part of the creed that I've created for myself. I want to serve in this way, right? So, like my husband tells us, there was a really annoying family in our previous ward. Everyone thought they were annoying. And I'm like, again, they're calling again. They need another thing again. So, Ben goes off and tries to help them. I said, honey, you can say no once in a while. And he goes, you know what? I'm not serving them. I'm serving the Lord. I thought, okay, that that makes sense to me. He says, if I feel like I can do this, I will do this, and I'm serving the Lord. So, when we tell our children that, you know, it shows them how much you're anchored, right? It invites them to respect you. Yeah. And it gives them confidence in you. And then because you have this confidence, you can offer confidence in them, once they figure out who they are and anchor themselves as well. All right. What do you guys think about creating these creeds?
I love it so much. It's like something I remember teaching my seminary students is I asked them like how come you can have so much faith in God? And they pondered and pondered and I said, well, um, they're like, well, he loves us. Yes, he loves us. And we like discussed and I said, what about that he has standards? What about that he keeps his word, right? What about, and they were like, oh, yeah, like those are the people that we trust, right? That we can have faith in, that they know what they stand for and they don't deviate and they are loving too. So I'm like, that's how we can have so much faith in God because we know exactly where he stands. He's the lighthouse, right? Or the Lord is the lighthouse pointing to him, but the Lord and him are one. So he's the lighthouse and we can trust that light.
Mhm. Yeah, I love that. You're helping them think at a higher level, right? And
Mhm.
just reason with themselves. Once you reason and you're solid, and then the Lord approves of your decision, um, you you're anchored, and that demands respect. So in my lesson also, I shared this. Yeah, like Mother Teresa, you guys have seen this before. If people are, people are often unreasonable, illogical, self-centered, forgive them anyway. So if you already decided, I am a forgiving person, I forgive everyone, including myself. And so before people even, commit anything against you, you've already decided your response. Or you can say, I'm a person that doesn't get offended. Okay. I will never choose to be offended because it's a choice of giving my power away, and I don't give my power away. Yeah. Yeah. So does anybody want to read this? This is really nice. Um, really nice poem.
I'll read it if no one else
Go ahead,
speaks.
Debbie.
Okay. People are often unreasonable, illogical, and self centered. Forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. If you are successful, you will win some false friends and some true enemies. Succeed anyway. If you are honest and frank, people may cheat you. Be honest and frank anyway. What you spend years building, someone could destroy overnight. Build anyway. If you find serenity and happiness, they may be jealous. Be happy anyway. The good you do today, people will often forget tomorrow. Do good anyway. Give the world the best you have, and it may never be enough. Give the world the best you've got anyway. You see, in the final analysis, it is between you and your God. It was never between you and them anyway. Beautiful.
Oh, isn't that great? Yeah, so that's what I mean by just answering only to one master. So when you decide that, you're anchored and you're focused and you're supportive of yourself. And we're so worried about offending or hurting or trying to please everyone. That's us, not being anchored in serving one God. All right. So I am going to share one last thing, and then we can do this as a group off the record. So as we design our divine path together, this is a workbook that I'll give you guys in a minute. We want to declutter our mind, okay? And part of decluttering is that anchoring, right? So first of all, we want to finish the first draft of that divine life plan. So I gave that a little template. And then we have all these things that, as you go, you just set a goal for yourself to just do these. You don't have to do them all. You can cross them out if you want. You're like, no, I don't need to do all these things. But sometimes some people's homes are so cluttered with things, it robs them of their energy to focus on serving, and it gives them an excuse, right? So we're not going to make any more excuses. We get rid of what we need to get rid of and lighten our mental load. And then, then we can stay focused on what we need to do, where we need to go. So I've got a list of things. And like I said, you can choose to cross off all of these things and say, look, I don't need to do that. Things are pretty organized and clean anyways. I just need to sort out my mind. These are just suggestions and kind of like a little bit of an explanation. And I have a little bit of a calendar here to help you time block, so that you know when you'll be able to serve and do your thing. Sometimes you have a great desire to serve the Lord in this particular way, to share a message with the world, but the housework needs to be done, the kids need to whatever, and we run errands and we don't give ourselves any time because we haven't planned it. So if we, like my mom, she goes to the grocery store every other day. She's missing 3 or 4 items and she has to go again. And she wants it fresh. So, because she's retired, she can afford that. But for me, I like to batch things. So if I say, you know what, that will have to wait, and it'll have to be the day that I do grocery shopping or the day that I go to the post office or do banking or whatever it is that you do. Yeah. Anyways, I'll give you, we're going to do this activity together off the record in a minute. But yeah, so we have this here as well. So just something to get you started. So hopefully that'll be helpful for you. All right. So let's stop the share, and I'm going to stop the recording, and then we can do this as a group. Okay. Thank you so much for watching, guys.